Hi, Internet viewers. This is Frank Rauscher again. We're going to proceed on. We did all the burning on the tail, both sides. We did the underneath side in here, under the wings, and all the way up to here. I hope you can see that. And here. And we did all that. So all this is burnt. We also did the throat area of, I think we came down about an inch from where the feathering starts, and that's at, remember, 3/8 in, and then we had like a V in there, and that is the feathered area. And it came from that point down 1 inch, and then you had like a little bit of an arc in there. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to take you and show you how to do the breast. And we're getting pretty close to finishing the detailing on this. So bear with me. I'm going to move the camera down so that you can see how I mark these out. And then I'm going to proceed on showing you how to lift the feathers and how to handle them. Okay? So bear with me and I'll be with you shortly. All right, here we go. I'm going to grab a pencil. Now, we had, remember we increased the size of the feathers as they came down. So what I'm going to do is just continue that. But on these up here we burned. What I'm putting in now, I'm going to show you. We're going to lift these to give it a little more definition. And I hope you can see the feathering. Get the feathers a little bit bigger, and we'll maintain that size. And as we go down, we'll get a little bit bigger right about where my thumb is, and then we'll start, as we go to the rump, we'll start reducing it. Okay, so right about here, just going to increase that just a little bit. And they don't all have to be the exact size. You know, if you need to make one a little fatter and it tends to work its way in there better, that's what I would do, okay? When we get done texturing this, it sort of blends in together, but it's not as prominent. Whoop. Sort of went on a straight line there. I still want to keep the arc. It's always like what I call a C. And right as we get over the crest here of the rump here, I'm going to start modifying it down a little bit. Right about here, I'm not getting that small yet, but I'm just, well, let me bring this one up here and this one up here, and then I'll put one right in here, and then keep them as a C. Don't get too sloppy like I was just doing there. And I'm marking these out. You don't want to get too small on them. Okay. And if you have to do like a half a feather, you know, because the other half is under the wing, that's good too. They don't all have to end as you butt up to the wing. So like this one goes down into that valley. Same way here. Now, I'm trying to modify them just a little bit smaller as we go. But you could tell I'm not too small. There's a bigger one, but that's okay too. Doesn't have to be. But now as we encroach on the V here, we want to sort of get smaller and smaller. I'm going to bring this over a little bit, not over there. Then I'll put one in here, put one in here. I used to think this was magical, but after a while I started relaxing and it seemed to come. But when I drew these the very first time, I had difficulty with it. So there is the whole setup marked out. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, and I hope I put it off to the side here so that we were ready to go. And of course, like everything, I don't always prepare well. And what I'm in search of right now is it's a ball. It's a diamond ball. And I think I have one right here. If this is probably about a 2 millimeter one. And what I'm going to do is go right on the line and undercut here. Okay. Let me see something. Bear with me 1 second. I think I have a smaller one than this. And I'm going to try to grab that here for a second. Let's see. Yeah, I did find one. But I'd rather have it a little bigger than this. But this is a real teeny tiny one. Just to give you a measurement, it's probably about 1 millimeter. Okay, I would recommend that maybe 1.5 millimeters or 2 millimeters. I think that one I had is like a 3 millimeter. So I'm going to put this in my RAM micro grinder. And I'm going to come in, and again, what you don't see is I'm putting my optivisor on for magnification, because I could use it. I'm going to come in here, right on the line. Hope you can see this well. I don't go real deep, maybe about half the depth of the ball. Okay, it's not like you're going to China with this. And the trick of it is, you may want to practice this because the bit wants to go on its own, and that can be a problem. You know, you keep in control. Now, on the micro grinder that I have here, I have a nice handle to this, where some of you using a Dremel or something like that, it can be a little more challenging. The ones that have the flexible shaft, that's probably a little more workable. All depends on what you have. And for those who are doing night carving, you can just cut it on the line and then undercut afterwards, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to do about half of these, and then what I'm going to ask you to do is you can do the rest on the exact same fashion that I'm doing now. Okay, I'll do a couple more right here. Like I said, I'm only going about the depth of the ball, baby, which is 1 millimeter at max. Okay, now that we did that, what could be helpful for some of you, and that is to get your pencil back in there. Make sure you have a sharp point so you can see what you're shooting for. and just run it in there so that you have a line of demarcation between where the valley is and where the upper part of the feather and so on. So I'm going to just run through a couple of these so that you can see it, okay? So I did that. Now, what I'm going to do is going back to one of my favorites, which is the bullet diamond. It's a bullet-shaped diamond. And what I'm going to do, this has a valley in here. So this part coming down is this side of the valley. Say I was doing, let me do a big feather here. Say like this feather right here, right there. This is the top, this is the bottom. I'm trying to get a dome across here, real light. I'm hardly touching it. I'm knocking that edge down that would be in front of the C, very lightly, not taking that much out. And then you come around to the back, and that little bit of a lip that you have, you just soften, okay? And you do all that. So what I do a lot of times is go in one direction. I just go around and soften everything on one side. And then flip it and then do the other side, okay? And this is a light touch. I have not really putting any pressure on any of this. This is really just a light touch. And again, you want to get the bit just touching that lip of that double edge we created, like that valley there. So we're knocking down the back end. There you go. Yep. I may have forgotten one or two here. Okay, now I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to come back and just soften the front end. And that would be, here's the feather here. It's all of this, this, and this. You're just softening all of that out. And I mean, I'm hardly touching this. Because we're not so deep, it should smooth out real easy just by just massaging that point. You're not going to China. Now, on some birds, you may want to make the breast more distinctive. You can go with a diamond ball that goes a little deeper, or even on this bird you can do it. It's what tickles your fancy there. You can make this even more deeper so it's more pronounced. So, but I'm going to leave it right there. Okay, and I think we got most of it. And see, if I move around a little bit, I can see the valleys that I may have left. There's one I forgot up here. Get better. Yeah. Okay. So I've done about from here to here, not including this one or that one. So I want you to do the whole thing, but I'm going to come in, and what I'm doing now is I'm getting a stone. This here is just a silicate carbide stone. They're very inexpensive. You're usually want a barrel type. This is a slightly tapered. It doesn't matter the color. Generally, if you use, most of the ones that have color are like a 200 grit, but then it's like one that I sell. It's a 400 grit. It really could put a polish on the wood if you wanted it. But what we're doing is we're going to work the corner here for texturing. We're actually going to stroke the wood right on the corner. We're using that corner. So what you want to do is get this into your machine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to show you on a piece of paper what I'm doing here. It's almost like repetition. You know how we did these feathers up on the head? We have these C's, and they're piggybacking off of each other here, and so on. So I'm just exploding the view. I'll take this feather here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stroke down the middle with the stone. I'm going to come down the middle. I'm actually going to go into the feather in front of it and stroke down. And I'm 45ing this way, and I'm 45ing that way. There's no quill, so that's my first stroke. And then I'm fanning out this way, and I'm fanning out that way. Okay, and I'm going past the feather. So you are actually going beyond your boundary, okay, of the feather. But you're flaring as you're doing that. And you're doing that to every one of them. But you're starting from the top, and you're working your way down. So here we go. I'm going to start right up here where we left off on the burn. I'm going to come up right here. I hope you can see this well. I'm going to strike past the feather. Then I'm going to do the next one. And what it does, it knocks that lip down even more on the bottom of the feather. And I'm always fanning. I come down the middle, go to the left, and go to the right. And I go beyond the boundary of the feather. Okay? So what it does, it actually knocks and flattens the high point in the back end of the feather and softens it. Now again, you have to practice this. I make it look easy, but this gives you a real nice look. I'm going to try to show you in a minute after I do so much here. And if you wanted a more prominent feather to show, you could go a little deeper. I didn't go real deep. Okay, but sometimes that's just your prerogative. We're trying to enhance the bird, the look of the bird. So I go for a little bit of realism, or a lot, I should say. And I try to do what I think I like, rather than, what somebody else does. But you have a choice. You can actually go deeper as far as the ball goes. The texturing, you're just going to have to practice this to get the feel of how deep you want to cut in, because I'm not going in that far. I'm just basically raking it through. Now, I did about half of that already. So let me shut this. I'm going to switch around to my brush, and I'm going to dust that off so that you could see what I tried to achieve there. And I only did a little bit of it. So I'm going to try to spin this around so you can see the light on it and the effect you get. And you're going to do that all the way down. Okay, but there it is there, and it gives you, I make the feathers in the breast area what I consider a little rougher than these here. These are very soft, but these here are a little more prominent. in a sense of lifting. And if you want it, you can even do this, and you could burn it too. That's another way of doing it. This is just how I handle it a lot. I usually like this, what they call stone it. I stone it, but if you don't have a stone and you have the burning pen, you can burn it just like you did the top here. But it's just nicer to lift it like I did with the diamond ball and then the bullet, and then go and burn it afterwards. So I want you to at least finish all this, and then on the next video, we will probably do the eyes and the beak. And boy, we're getting really close to priming this guy. And we're going to be on our way here as far as, what's the name, painting it. So it's starting to shape up. I hope you enjoy what you learned today, and I hope it shows you a little bit more on how to. And if you got something out of it, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up. And if you would subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that as well. And again, anything that I use here, either blanks or the kit or the patterns, the bits, I have them available. So if you're in need of anything, definitely give me a call. You can contact me through the comment section in my video, or you can email me. And that's also in the description of the video. So hope to see you on the next video, and we will start setting eyes. We will prep the beak and let's see how far we get. But I want you to do all of this so that when we go, we've got all this done. And if you get a chance, and if you don't have a rotary brush like I do, like these, you can just get an old toothbrush and brush it out, and that'll do it too. Not a wire brush though, okay? Something that's, a bristle that's not as aggressive, okay? So I'll see you on the next video, and again, hope you got something out of it. And if you did, definitely give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next video.